Hey, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I'm working with Meshy. They are sponsoring this video, and they've basically given me an account on their system to test their AI modeling software. And so far, I'm really pleased and excited about what I'm seeing. And with that being said, we're going to run some tests with my K2 Plus. So let's see how it goes, and let's get started. Ever since I got my K2 Plus, I've been posting content, and I have several videos out there about the K2 Plus. Some of them are popular, at least for me, and people seem to enjoy them. I've done a lot of work trying to push the K2 Plus further, tune it in, get it to print the highest quality can. I've put on a different Hotend. That's the micro Swiss. I've done some work with high temp filaments, and I've also messed with OrcaSlicer. Now, over that time, I've tried various test prints, and today what I'm looking at is generating my own unique print I can use to push the K2 Plus to its limits. Now, one of my issues I need to point out as I'm trying to develop a model to basically test my printers and push them to the limit. One of my problems is I'm actively learning how to use Fusion, and unfortunately I just haven't gotten to the point where I'm competent enough to generate anything. So this sort of leaves me with a dilemma. How can I generate this model? Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, I was approached recently by Meshy about the possibility of them sponsoring a video, and they've sent me access to a pro account in the new Meshy 6. So rather than spend hours, well, I'd probably have to spend 2 or 3 weeks more learning Fusion 360 and then spend hours to develop a test model. I'm going to use the new Meshy 6 to see if I can generate a model I can use. One of my interests in Meshy is the fact that Meshy 6 just launched. Now, this is a brand new AI model, and what it allows for you to move from that AI model directly into a production-ready asset within seconds. And it's much quicker, faster, and has a lot of great features. So what I'm going to do is I've worked and developed a little bit of a prompt, and we're going to try using that prompt and see what it generates for us and see if we can tweak our prompt to get something that's just perfect for what I want. Now, as you can see, I've done some initial tests here with Meshy, and what I found is I've started playing with various prompts, trying to figure out what the best prompt is. I've actually generated some models I really like. I'm going to go ahead and start generating this one, and we'll take a look. This takes a minute or two to generate. We'll be right back. So I've created the prompt to generate organic looking models. Now, I've also tried some mechanical looking stuff, and all these are just based off text prints. Everything it's generated I really like. Now, as to what would be the best test model, I tried several different prompts and different styles. And this one, I like this one because, again, organic. It lets me look at the surfaces, the layers, how it handles these vines that are hanging in space. I'm a little bit unsure, though, the vines will really print right. Now, the shapes I'm really drawn to are these two organic shapes that would really test the retraction and pressure advance. Now, I have two. This is my first iteration. Then I edited my prompt some and generated this. Now, I am really pleased with the way this came out and how it looks. So what I think we should do is let's take this over and give it a shot printing it and see how it comes out. Now, to do that, there's a download button here in Meshy 6. There's lots of different formats we can look at. And I've noticed there's STL, so we're just going to do an STL, and I'm going to leave the size as is. I probably need to resize this. I did put a size in the prompt, but I'm not sure how that'll translate when I download. So let's download this. And it does download with the entire prompt I used as the file name, which seems a little long, so I'll have to edit this a little bit. And let me go over, edit the file name, and we'll give this a go. Hey, I just want to take a minute to thank Meshy for sponsoring this video. On screen is my coupon code. Feel free to use that. And Meshy 6 is now live. And if you use my exclusive link below in the first pinned comment, you'll get 50% off. Now's a great time to upgrade your workflow with the awesomeness in Meshy 6. Now in OrcaSlicer, I'm just going to grab the model and move it over. And I've renamed it. It comes in named after the prompt. And so it's a really long name. So I just shortened it. Now you'll notice the model comes in real big. What you want to do is just go over here to scale and make sure uniform scale's on. And this model is designed to be about 50 millimeters tall. So we're going with 50 millimeters tall. And you'll notice it's, I would say, probably a perfect size. And we have a couple settings we want to change. We're going to go over to strength and make sure the infill density is set to 10%. I'm going to go to speed, and I want to make sure that everything here is sort of uniform. Now for my test model, what I want to do, because I want to make sure there's no fluctuation in how it's pushing out filament, I want to change all my speeds to match the inner and outer wall. I'm going to go to sparse infill and make sure that's also set to the same. Set everything here to that 300. So we're using the same speeds throughout. And we're also going to need to change the overhang speed as well. So we're going to scroll down here and we want to uncheck slow down for overhangs. We want to uncheck, well, we don't have to uncheck anything if it does that. And we want the bridge speed to be 300 as well. And that should do everything we want. Let me just do one final check to see if there's anything else we need to change. Now, one quick change, I did miss this one, so I just want this one to be 100%. And let's go over to the filament settings real quick. Now I'm going to be using this filament, and I want to go to cooling. And let me figure out which ones here I want to change. So I want to slow down printing for better layer cooling. Let's uncheck that. And on the filament setting, the only change you really need to do here is turn off slow down printing for better layer cooling. So what we've done is this printer should fly through this print. Let's slice and see how long it takes. And I'm just going to close this. I don't necessarily want to save those settings. So let's hit slice plate. You see the model takes almost about an hour and 45 minutes to print. That's not great, but that's more me than opposed to Meshy. Let's go ahead and print it and see if this does what I want. So I've completed printing the model. I have it right here. And there's some issues with it, and all these issues are based on my settings. So let's switch over to my desk camera and we'll take a closer look and discuss the model. So if we take a look at the model, one, let's just look at the overall quality of what was generated from my prompt and then what actually printed. Now looking, it did this basically embossed symbol on the bottom, which came out really, really good. The quality in here, I think, really looks good. I'm seeing a little bit of stringing down in here. It's hard to see, but there may be some stringing underneath. Overall, the print quality looks good. Now, where things tend to fall apart a little bit, and again, this has nothing to do with Meshy. This is all slicer settings, where these fast changes created some stringing. And as we mentioned, I was trying to test retraction and flow rates, and we can see retraction needs some work here. And I had sped everything up. I also had where the cooling basically was a little different. And if we look at some of these spines, some of them look great, but others not so much. And again, I think that has to do with the cooling. So there's two things I need to do here. I'm going to need to look to see if I can find a cooling test or maybe generate one with a prompt. And then I'm also going to need to find a stringing tower with various speeds and retraction rates so I can clean this up. But once I do, I should actually be able to print faster with the K2 Plus and get the print quality, which I'm already pretty happy with, even higher. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd like you to post them below. Again, I'd like to thank Meshy and particularly Meshy 6 for sponsoring this video. I'm overall very pleased with the models they generated, and I'm really impressed with the work they've done with generating models from text in particular. So again, thanks to them, and thank you again for all your time. Thanks. Have a good day.